Ooh, you've gotten better.
I'm a little better than last time.
You've gotten better since the end of the episode.
That was probably my first time beatboxing ever. So,
oh man, welcome back, you guys. We've got a really fun episode for you all today.
Very, very good episode. The guests we had on today were one of a kind, and it felt really fluid and natural, and I had a lot of fun.
And we obviously need practice beatboxing. And you've got to listen to the episode to know what we're talking about here and what's going on. But we've been challenged.
We had a good challenge. I did my first ever beatbox competition, or we all did, honestly. But the whole episode was just really well rounded. I feel like we touch a bunch of different bases. We get a good introduction of who our guest is, and I really liked it because it just felt like a really fluid conversation. So that was cool.
A lot of fun takeaways, and the episode just went in a lot of different directions, kind of naturally, it was fun. They were super fun. We've got 2 guests on for you today.
Yeah,
double trouble in the house. So much fun. This is one of my favorite episodes, I've got to say.
That's a good one because this is episode 21.
Episode number 21.
Let's go. It's a good one to start off the first round of the next 20. So
that's right.
Let's go ahead and jump into it.
Let's do it.
What do you like better, Christmas or wedding season?
Mr. Gray.
Yes. The answer would be wedding season.
Bingo.
Well, you've just inspired me to hire a DJ, so thank you.
Oh, well, good luck finding a DJ who can move and shake like this.
You are now listening to Cutmaster Cast.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to another round of the Cutmaster Cast, your favorite wedding industry podcast. My name is Chris Romero.
Oh, I'm so sorry. My name is Tony Pacheco.
And who are you, my co-host?
I am reading an email. I was trying to pull up our email to recap the whole episode. And hello, everybody. My name is Tony Pacheco.
This is Tony. Let me introduce Tony. He's a busy guy. He's a busy guy these days.
I was pulling up our email.
And we are DJs with Cutmaster Music out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. And if this is your first time joining us, we want to welcome you. And if you are one of our 15 listeners, we want to welcome you back. We appreciate you all. And on the show, we'd like to dive into 3 areas of wedding industry discussion, which includes our weekly events, wedding industry business tips and hacks. And then at the end of every episode, we take it back to the music. And today we have not one, Tony.
Not one.
But 2.
But 2.
We've got 2 very special guests on the show. And I would like everybody to welcome the dynamic planning duo from Luz Weddings and Events, Courtney Graham and Shelby Wolf, everybody. Thank you both for joining us. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Welcome to
Yeah,
Cutmaster headquarters. Recently joined together for Luz. And why don't you tell us a little bit about yourselves and what's going on at Luz and this awesome planning business that you all have formed together?
I mean, it's kind of nuts right now, wedding season.
Full swing.
We are we're in the heart of it.
Oh, and here come all the little noises. I was so excited for that part.
my wife says I do too many of them.
They're okay.
And you know what I say to that?
DJ horn. Love it. Love me a trap horn.
But actually, I'm in a dip right now, so I have nothing in July intentionally.
Nice.
Yes, I'm so excited for this break.
Awesome.
But it is semi-recent that we came together, so I guess officially we're signing our documents this week for our official legal merger, which is really cool. But we have been working together, operating since February of last year. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like a year and a half in the making that we've been together under Luz for all of our contracts and stuff. So it's very exciting.
Good for you guys. Congrats.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We're really excited to make it finally official. Hooray!
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, that's awesome. I know, and I've been working, I feel like, with Courtney for forever, and we've done a few events together too with you now, Shelby. And it's always fun. It's always fun working with you all. That's why we have you on the show. It's definitely some of our faves to be doing events with. It's just, you all do it right. They're always you're fun to work with. So we appreciate you, and I think what you're offering to the local wedding community. So
Thanks. Thanks for saying that. I always appreciate like encouragement like that.
Yeah, you guys are doing a really good job on socials, and I feel like you do a good job at encouraging the bride and helping them understand just what it means to like get married and how really give them peace of mind in the midst of all of it.
Yeah, and like you were saying, it comes with like the social is part of our social experience is education, because a lot of brides, like you just mentioned, like they don't know. What do we say? You don't know what you don't know about weddings. So it's educating the couple through the whole process so that when they get to the big day, it's smooth sailing for them.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. I love that.
Exactly. Well, cool. Well, we like to typically start off our episodes recapping like the events that we had over the weekend. So did you guys, did you have anything going on?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we
I
each
like
had
it.
weddings.
Sounds like it's going to be fun. Let's go.
Mine went really well. So Shelby's is going to have more of a fun story. But I was just at Hotel Albuquerque, and I know that you were there.
Yeah, I was there too.
Because Chris was like, "Oh, Chris is on the outside," and I was like, "I'm going to go see him," but I ran out of time.
Oh, those
I
were
apologize.
different events because I saw your social and I obviously knew you were there too. Oh,
So which room were you in?
We
were
were
you
in
the Franciscan? Oh,
Mhm.
I saw that couple out there taking pictures beforehand with Shutter Freak.
Yeah, for Shutter Force, yeah.
Or Shutter
absolutely.
Force, not
No
Shutter
worries,
Freak.
it happens.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, a different word. But it was really fun. We were like outside, like they were like the silliest couple. So we were like making all of the shadows were a lot of fun. So they were like pretending to lean on the tree, but it was actually in a shadow. And she had these like funny sunglasses, and like we put on tattoos of their dog. So
I think
hilarious.
maybe it was on the Instagram that I saw that. Yeah, the tattoos that looked fun. Yeah, they seem like a cool couple. I was out there watching. We were setting up like out there in the pavilion while they were doing some pictures and stuff out there.
how was it DJing in the pavilion? Because I saw that it was still light outside when you started the dance party. What was that vibe like? And
Yep,
how's it getting the
You know what? It tends to be okay. And I think the group matters. And in this case, the group was super fun.
They looked like it.
They were totally fun. The couple was in their 20-somethings. They had a lot of friends there that were in their 20s too. And it started off, I want to say that open dancing session probably started roughly around 7:30ish, 8 o'clock when it's kind of the sun is, it's still light, like you
Right.
said. So you don't get a lot of the effect with any of the lights and things like that, which is, it's fine. But
Right.
yeah, as it kind of starts getting darker, within an hour, it's, dark, and then we're really going. But I think it's definitely more encouraging for the dance floor later on, and then people have been drinking more and that sort of thing too. But it was all right,
Yeah.
And then it kind of depends on how you start things off too. So you have really no choice but to go to the dance floor when you're there doing your first dance. They had the cake cutting over there by the dance floor, first dance, mother, son, father, daughter, all that stuff was there, and so it makes it easier, right? Because people are already gathered around there, and then you kind of get the open dancing started. So it definitely helps to have people gathered around, as opposed to if they were underneath the tent watching them.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I think that the darkness always helps a dance floor. For sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I used to work at Hotel Albuquerque actually in their weddings department, but
Really?
yeah, but when we'd have the DJ out there, it was kind of a challenge for that reason,
Yeah.
especially in the summer months. But when I was looking at your Instagram and I was watching the dance party starting to happen, that's why I thought of it. I was actually really impressed that you could see the lighting. Like it was really visible, and people were raging already at 7:30 apparently.
Right? Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, like these tubes, these are the same tubes here in the studio that we're using out there, and they're pretty bright. They do a really good job, I think. And then really all we had were these tubes and uplights. That was it for the space.
Yeah,
So
but they work really well. Yeah, they emit a really bright color, and then they have these separate patterns that are just really, really like kind of visually engaging, and they pop really well even when the sun is up.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
You could definitely tell.
Mm-hmm.
cool.
That's cool.
What'd you have this weekend, Shelby?
Oh, I was at Taos Ski Valley.
Okay.
Nice.
Love Taos Ski Valley.
Okay.
It was a challenging one this weekend, though. Everything was planned wonderfully. The hiccups that happened were things that no one would have predicted. It was the Blake, all of the power went out in the whole hotel. So that's where our wedding party was getting ready. So, and the girls were DIYing hair and makeup. Yeah. And it was they did a great job of actually getting the power back on. But the window of when our girls were getting ready was exactly within that window of when the power outage happened. So we had to,
Oh no.
and they had to find, because, at Taos Ski Valley, they're getting ready 15 minutes away from up the mountain where I'm getting
Yeah,
the
where it's
venue set
happening.
up.
Yeah.
So it's kind of challenging. But also the Verizon cell tower was down.
Oh, of course.
You'll never guess what service the entire wedding party, including the bride and groom, were on.
No.
So we couldn't communicate.
no
either.
communication.
No
Yeah.
communication. Power's down. So by the time I got down there
Sending smoke signals on the mountain.
on the mountain,
Smart.
the best idea. There you go.
It's hilarious.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Where's the sound effect for that one?
Yeah, that one is the I don't know.
That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
that was perfect. That was good. So it was hard to communicate, but when I actually got down there to go check on them before Jack Dodge Photography got there, I found out they had found a locker room that was powered by the generator, so they were able
Wow.
to but this is like a 5-minute walk away.
Right.
Like I was lucky to have found them. Like elevators weren't working, and we were on the 3rd floor.
Oh, jeez.
So that was a challenge. Then when we got up to the actual ceremony space, the wind the day before was pretty extreme. But then when we got to the wedding day, it was nuts.
Yeah.
So our ceremony cellist, ¿cómo se dice? In a nice way, she put up a 10 by 10 canopy on her own without any clarification.
God.
After we already chatted about that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
It was a sail.
Yeah, turned into a kite.
It was 5 minutes before the wedding party walked down. It blew onto all the guests, and all the guests are there because with the logistics of having to get up in the
thing.
shuttle, they're there by 2:30. Our ceremony
Yeah.
starts at 4, so they're just chilling and hanging out there. It blew on all of the guests. It was nuts. Then one of the guests
What
had
a
to
sight.
go and hold the umbrella because she moved it, and the rocks. Anyway, so it was just all these things
Wow,
that you
yeah.
can't.
And this is all before the ceremony even started.
Yeah.
That's the way you're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah, right.
We had some fun family things throughout the weekend, but like once they got married and the reception happened, like everybody was having a great time.
Of course.
Yeah. The couple didn't know a thing about these other little things, so
you
that
go.
was the goal.
Yeah.
And we
See,
achieved that,
and
so.
That's the important
so and that kind of gets to the heart of why I think everyone needs a planner at their wedding, because you are going to be someone that you organize all these things, right? But you are in the know of what's going on, and I think how to handle the situation and know when to alleviate stress and pressure and what they need to know, what they don't need to know, and just
Yes.
making sure that things get done, right?
They do
And-
not need to know this canopy just impaled
Right.
half of their guests.
Yeah, Grandma's not going to make it
so
today.
funny. She took a hit. She's on her way to the hospital,
Ah.
but
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that was what, last weekend? Never mind.
I did have a wedding like that, so sad day.
Grandma went down.
Yeah, she went to the hospital in an ambulance.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's kind of what Courtney talks about. Like if we have both very different responses, and I think they're so well articulated. Like, so Courtney, why do we need to hire a planner?
Oh, you want me to tell it right
Yeah.
now? I think you need to hire a planner because you don't want to be a cook in the kitchen for Thanksgiving. 'Cause you're, like stuck in there, and all of your lovely family is hanging out and enjoying all the games, but you have to cook the turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
That's a lot like wedding
It's a
planning.
good visual.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's like what you were saying. It's like they don't need to like be engaged in all of this setup, all of the prep part of it, which is the host of Thanksgiving.
No, there's so many things on their mind already, right? Like just I think that's one of the things I always tell our couples when they come in for our part of the planning that with the reception is that I really want you to have a worry-free wedding day. Like that's like at the end of the day really my goal, and we accomplish that by great music and all that stuff, but making sure things are on, going according to schedule, on time. It's all professional.
Right.
like
Just
we
doing
do-
the things that we can do
Yeah.
to give you because that day, anybody that's gotten married knows that is the fastest day of your life.
Oh, yeah.
Plain and simple, and you've only got so much time, even though it seems like a lot of time, it's not to have really meaningful interactions with the people that mean the most to you, right? That's why they're there. So I want to make sure that you're enjoying the time, actually taking it in, getting those meaningful interactions, and and not have to worry about all the stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, all those random things.
I saw it on I'm not part of TikTok at all, but I think it was a TikTok. Someone
What?
posted. I know. Don't judge me.
La Luz should at least
I
be on
know.
TikTok.
I know. But China. I'm just
All
kidding.
right,
I'm
that's
kidding.
fair, I get
no,
it.
it's honestly,
It's just the
it's a
amount of
lot.
time.
Yes.
You know,
Lot.
we're both moms.
If you do have to
full-time
commit to
moms.
anything, I honestly YouTube Shorts.
Oh.
Just move it to YouTube Shorts.
Good thing to
Okay.
know.
Actually, my husband does watch a lot of those too, so that makes perfect
Yeah,
sense.
Exactly.
that's the big thing right now. In fact, we've been cutting
we're
just
pushing
clips
it.
like from the show.
Uh-huh.
Little clip, 15, 20, 30-second clips, parts of the show, throw them up on the
But
That's
even the
nice that it's
exact-
already done. You've created all your content. You're just like,
Yeah.
That's it.
You just have to clean it up a little bit. But
Sure.
yeah, the stuff that you have already made on Insta, just move it to YouTube Shorts.
Hmm.
Yeah.
YouTube is the second biggest search engine, and TikTok's right up there as well.
Mhm.
But Google, YouTube, and then so when they're looking up wedding planning,
Yeah, and,
It's- okay.
and with
I
YouTube,
know.
you just have to worry about Chinese Americans. So
There you go. This
It's at
is
least
my
a little safer
official
than TikTok.
advertisement to whoever's a content creator. Please reach out to us. We'd like to hire you to do
there
all
you
of our stuff.
go.
there we go.
Luz
Job
is
offers.
hiring.
Yeah.
So-
But when I was on whatever video I saw, we were talking about like the day goes by so quickly you don't even stop and think really. And we always try and schedule in some time
Best
for
day.
the couple to be like 30 minutes of relaxation before the ceremony starts, which is
Ah,
ideal. But
right.
another thing that I
Process.
saw in this video, I thought it was so cool and I've started implementing it right before the bride and her dad or whomever her escorts are,
Mhm.
to have her like stop and close her eyes and like engage all of her senses. So like actually ask her to close your eyes, think about what you're hearing, take a deep breath. Like, what do you smell? Now open your eyes. What do you see? What are you touching? Like just to be really, really present in the moment. And
Definitely.
how cool is that? You can actually think back to that and
Yeah.
actually remember and engage in those memories, which is, but beyond that, you're not going to remember a lot of what happened on your wedding
Yeah.
day. So I thought that was a really cool idea.
Yeah.
That is a good way
I
to be
always tell my
present.
clients to do that at the end of the night, like
Mm,
before they
mhm.
leave, is to like close their eyes and just like, what are the best memories of today, and just try
Take
to
it
like
in.
store them in your memory.
Yeah.
all right.
Goes
That's a
by
good way
so
to do it.
fast.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I wish I'd done that. Close my eyes, and then in my brain I hear.
Yeah, baby.
You thought that one out.
Right.
That was good,
You
that
had
was
it ready.
good.
That's right. Been waiting for that moment.
Nice. So you were at Hotel Albuquerque as well.
Right.
So that's cool.
Yeah. So and the wedding was fun. You know what? Like I've noticed a little trend, and it's got me excited for my wedding this weekend too. Because
Where are you at?
this weekend we'll be at the Tamaya out
Heck
in the
yeah.
Cottonwoods.
Heck yeah.
But the couples right now, right? They've been all roughly around the same age, early mid 20s, I would say mid 20s. But the music that's playing right now, like this past weekend, it was like One Direction, Hot Chella Ray, like all of that
Yeah.
stuff, like just that boppy time of top 40 music. And I'm
Mhm.
glad that's like made the rounds back because it was just fun music. It's kind of like we've moved out of the lower BPM, like hip hop, just, I mean, it wasn't bad, but like
Yeah.
Snappy Fingers, 1-2 Step, all that
Yeah.
stuff, where now we've gotten into more of where those types of bands were coming back. I mean, like Mr. Brightside, Killers, and all that. Like
yeah,
they
those
want.
are always doing well.
Yeah, it's just so I just like the music that's on the playlists right now.
Definitely.
It's I think made the parties. I don't know. I can tell we're moving into a different era
Yeah.
of music
It's
than what we
definitely
had
transitioning.
really like pre-COVID.
Mhm.
So
Nice.
yeah,
That's
so
cool.
it was fun. It was a great wedding. Super cool couple.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
yeah.
How
Have
long
you-
do those like waves take, or like what's the length of a wave of like
8 years.
really?
Because
Oh,
this is the
interesting.
first time I've felt it, and this is year 8.
I was
there
like,
you
where
go.
did you just get that number?
8 years and 3 months.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I've always
Tony's
been
got
in tune because I've been younger
Mhm.
and been in that college scene, and now I have to actively do more research to find that music.
Oh,
As opposed to, because it's just what I was listening to
Mhm.
5 years ago. Now it's not really what I'm listening to, but I understand to dig through it. So if I had to guess, 8 years, because this is the first year I've really felt it. But
That's
with that said, it's not that much of a change. I feel like I'm in a weird sweet spot where the kids who grew up in like, their throwbacks are my throwbacks in a way. So when I play To the Window to the Wall, they still lose it because we were at a different point in time, but we still like we're together listening to that music.
Yeah.
It's so weird how it works that way.
Right.
Oh.
Those high school and college
Yeah.
bops.
Well,
coming
like
back.
my college bops are their middle school bops.
Right.
Exactly.
So it works out in that way. So
hmm
Yeah. So like I like this
Right now, it's coming nice.
this throwback era of music that we're now getting into
Yeah.
at the weddings.
I feel like a lot of what's hitting right now is the Keshas, the Neos, the Ushers, the stuff like that, the 2013, 14 type stuff, you know.
Well, and what's cool with weddings is that the whole EDM movement has caused like the classic throwbacks to also come back. So it works for weddings, right? Where you've got these mashups of like September, Earth, Wind, and Fire, or, you know, Don't Stop Believing, all that stuff. Like that works for your older crowd.
Yeah.
And so now you can play Whitney Houston and mix it with the Rihanna mix, you know, the
Yep.
DJ Scooter edit. And it's like that goes off at weddings. So like we're in this like I think fun time for music for private events because it like you can I think if you're a good DJ and you're in tune like Tony was just saying with the eras and the music, like it's so easy and it's so fun.
Yeah.
Like
It's all crowd reading, I feel like. So if you can understand what kind of crowd you're going to be playing for, that helps.
Yeah, absolutely.
So cool.
okay, cool. So I want to get into some deep questions, some deeper questions.
Yikes.
We're gonna put you on
Yeah.
the spot here.
Let's do it.
All right. So
Prepare myself.
you know what? But actually, you've already kind of done this a little bit already. Like you just kind of naturally segued into it. So you know, the first question that I had here that I wanted you all to talk about, which maybe you already did. What's the most challenging situation that you've encountered, like on wedding day? I mean, you had some good ones already.
Where's
Those are-
did you bring tequila? Can we just have a shot?
Right, loosen up a little
Sorry,
bit.
today's episode, people, is sponsored by Blow Pops
Blow Pops.
and
Haribo and
Better
Sweet
open
Tarts.
those up.
Yeah, shout out you guys. They brought us these great snacks. We appreciate it.
yeah. I mean,
Love me some candy.
our listeners are in tune.
Yeah.
Got some
Well,
Blow
I mean,
Pops and gosh,
I guess talking about the hard stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
Some of the craziest things that's happened to me personally at weddings was the one that I mentioned about grandma falling. So unfortunately, a bench for an outside wedding completely broke under the guests, and they were on a concrete patio.
Holy
she
cow.
fell back and hit her head. So she went to the
Dang.
emergency room. And then I also had a wedding where their huge, beautiful cake fell in the middle of dancing. And I think it's because, like, it was just a little bit off, and then the weight of the cake, and then,
Oh,
the beats of the DJ.
that's
and
right.
band.
The DJ was dropping
The sub was
Good
going
job.
too
Let's
hard.
blame it on
to the
the
windows, to
Yeah.
the walls.
Exactly.
The cake was all over the windows.
Ooh, yep.
The cake falling off the wall.
That's
Yes.
hilarious.
So I've had that, and then just like some of the hard things, it's just like Shelby mentioned when the girls or the guys are getting dressed like 15 minutes away. It's hard for us to check in and out. So I think the best thing as a planner from my perspective is honestly just taking in anything that might be happening and processing it with like a calm demeanor.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is super stressful, but what they're looking for is for you to be like, okay, I got this.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just like you have to process without having that like shocked face. You're
It's
like,
so interesting. I feel you. though.
okay.
That's like such a DJ, or like for when we're DJing events and different things, something happens, right? And we're having to be like, okay, catastrophe could happen in 5 minutes, but if I keep a cool head, I should be able to make this happen, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
that's
If you keep
I feel
that head cool, then you
Yeah.
have more brain power for figuring
My
out the
mind goes to
solution.
fixing it immediately. I'm like, okay, here's the problem. How do I go? But I'm also doing a task. I'm like, okay, well that doesn't work. I need to go do something else while I think of how to fix that or something.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
What about you? What are some challenges? you
Yeah,
face?
Shelby.
Just a funny one. This season so far, and it involved the DJ, which is the only reason why I bring it up. But
Nice.
the all right, the couple
Which one?
was.
Which DJ?
Oh, I'm not saying nothing.
No. It wasn't me or Zia, was it?
No, I hope not.
No, it wasn't.
All right.
I'll
In the
tell
clear.
that story later. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. That's for another
This one,
episode.
The
We need a whole
couple
episode.
was older. They had already had their own kids, and their kids were grown. Their kids were full-grown adults as well.
Oh, I know
Okay.
the story.
The best man who was the son of the couple,
Okay.
one of the groom. He got very intoxicated, and he decided
Shoot.
that when the DJ played Pony, he cleared the dance floor and he literally did a striptease. But the couple,
Oh,
the parents were
God.
standing there watching it,
Of
and
course,
I ran up to
yep.
them like, "Do you need me to stop them?" And they were they were like, "This is who he is. Just let it slide." I'm like,
wow.
and I look at the DJ. I'm like, cut it. off.
Give him
Come
a
on.
taste. Let him like take his shirt
Oh
off.
no, he
and then
did.
Go.
We let him unbutton his shirt, and then he started with his pants. I was like,
Oh,
nope,
no,
nope,
yeah.
nope,
Oh,
this is done.
no.
Nope, make it stop.
Not at
Got
all.
grandma there.
Everybody was watching, and it was a crowd
If
where
they're an
everyone
older couple,
stayed.
they've got to.
Yes, and I mean, I get it, man. I get wanting to do that, but don't. No.
Not on your parents' wedding.
No, oh
That's
my gosh.
weird.
Yeah, it was real
That's
weird.
really
It's
weird.
like it's yeah.
It was.
Gosh.
Did you say like the groom also did something?
Oh, then right after that, the groom was inspired to take his bride, and they're older. And when I say older, I'm talking like 60s.
Okay.
He took his bride, put her on a chair as the song kept playing, and then did a little lap
And did
Very
his
nice.
whole lap
Very
dance.
nice.
It was,
And he was like, yeah.
That's
it
funny.
was just uncomfortable for me. Maybe not anybody else, but I was like, yikes.
Kind of weird.
It was.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And then I
Wow.
had
Planner
another.
Shelby's like, do I make this stop? What
I
do
don't.
I do?
They all seem to
Right.
be
Are they
enjoying
enjoying? Is this good?
They were all
See, I thought
feeling it and
I thought the
laughing.
DJ like was gonna in this story was like gonna messed up something, but
Start
he was just
stripping.
playing. He was just playing some songs and
Start his own striptease.
Probably.
That'd be
that kind
nuts.
of wedding. Huh?
Right?
For
If
it.
they're down.
We had another one last season as well, just another challenge. It was at Bosque School,
Okay.
and they're trying to make this their Budiger Hall a new like a venue space. So
Okay.
the bride there worked at Bosque, so she had awesome access to it. It's beautiful. If anyone needs to check out a cool space, check out Budiger Hall at Bosque
Mm.
School.
Cool.
Great view of the Bosque.
I had
Huge
no idea
windows,
that
It's
they.
yeah.
over there off of Cours Montano ish.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Huge windows overlooking the Bosque. Very cool. Very cool. But as we were setting up out in the Bosque, just the way the path of the geography is, it was like a dust devil, but like extreme dust devil. And all
Oh,
of cocktail
no.
hours stood out there. Julia with Beloved Rentals had set up all of her cocktail tables, her beautiful lounge set. The couple provided all these disco balls, which everyone knows is very trendy
Fun.
right now.
Yep.
Imagine a couch, like a full-size couch, picked up in the air and thrown 100 feet. Like it was like a massive dust. It was not small.
Yeah, like a
all of
mini
their-
tornado.
It was a mini tornado.
Yeah.
So, but like all of their place cards, which were on little disco balls, they made this beautiful like
Oh, that sounds
things
sick.
were destroyed too.
No.
But we were able, and this was like within 20 minutes of when cocktail hour was supposed to start, and there was glass everywhere too. Oh, we moved everything inside. Julia was amazing about staying back with us and just like helping transition. But
Nice.
the couple knew that it happened because obviously it was supposed to be outside.
Right.
But none of the guests were the wiser that it was supposed to be outside. So
There you go.
just please don't step on the grass. There is glass in there.
Oh,
But other than that, it was fine because everything was inside.
You
it.
just never know, right? I remember a wedding that we did was at Hotel Albuquerque. This was, gosh, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years ago. And they had this beautiful, I mean, it must have been so expensive, clear tent out there. And we actually had a secondary setup inside. It was a massive, gigantic wedding. And they had everything set up out there. And it was like a hurricane came through the place. They never got to use anything outside. Everything got moved inside. They weren't set up for dinner inside. They opened up the soft wall behind the DJ area and just set up some tables, had people come in there. That bride and groom were such troopers. They were just like,
It is
it is what it is. We're going to have a
Yeah.
good time. And like them having that mentality, like we don't care. We're having a good time. And I think that one, it was a Greek wedding.
Yeah.
And I mean, they had fun. It was cool, but thank God we had a second setup, like ready to go. Like it
Nice.
was just
That was
because they were gonna
Nice.
move from the outside to inside.
Mm.
And
Were
oh
you
my
just
God,
like in the atrium, or were you actually in a ballroom that happened to be not?
no, we were in a
used?
ballroom.
Oh,
like
that's so lucky.
Yeah,
that it wasn't all booked.
It was, and it was huge. Yeah,
It was like all A, B, C, D or something in there.
it was like half of that.
Oh my gosh, that's giant.
That is
too.
It was
big.
giant. It was big, but then they opened up. Like I said, we were up against a soft wall, and then they
Uh-huh.
opened up the other half, so it wasn't booked out. And they set up tables and no linens, nothing. It was just like they just put tables out
Oh,
there.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Told people, everybody get inside, and it was really bad. It was like the worst storm I think I've ever seen come through there.
Side
Dang.
wind, rain.
There was no way anybody could be outside in that.
Wow.
Stuff
The
was
poor
flying
couple.
everywhere.
That's
Like
awesome that they were just like rolling with it.
Yeah.
though.
That's their memory
attitude,
of
man.
like
That's
how
That's their
they
memory.
how they had such a great. They're like, we had such a great time. We talk about it like we
Good
through
for
the years.
them.
It was cool.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's like you never know, right?
Exactly.
You never know when a mini tornado is going to come through and
Yeah, but
take out
like
your
you
disco
said,
balls.
That's always like a good story to look back on. Like I had a wedding where like literally golf size. What am I saying?
You're saying
ball
golf
size
balls.
Golf size.
Anyway,
Hail.
hail came down,
Yep.
and everything was outside. And we moved it again inside. But that couple talks about it. They're like, "Oh my gosh, that was so insane! Like, do you remember that hail?"
Yeah.
I'm
That's
like,
nuts.
You have to have the right attitude about it.
You
Yeah,
do.
you do.
I think, and if you do, then it all works out. Like somehow it all works out. You know.
I mean, time doesn't stop. Time is not going to like wait for the rain to stop. I mean, you can move all the tables at Hotel Buckeye under the portal, but if you have sideways rain, there's no stopping.
Doesn't
that.
matter.
So
Still getting
yep,
you, man.
Yep.
your day is going to end at some point, so make the best of it.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Like we said, it goes by quick.
Yep.
So let's talk about trends.
Yeah.
What are you both seeing like for this year, and then we might even go to like what some things to be looking out for that you'd like to see.
I prepared. We made
Nice.
a list.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Let me get my list.
No,
Sorry,
I
Gary,
love.
let's-
I mean, you had mentioned disco balls.
Disco ball. I
That-
feel like that's
That's
yes.
awesome.
It is awesome. I love disco ball. And I hope they stick around. But I can see that being a trend that's overdone and then it's kind of quick in, quick out. I could
Yeah.
see that. Maybe not. Maybe it sticks around for
I don't.
know.
It made its round back from the 70s,
It
right?
did,
like
definitely.
so. Yeah, I think it's a come and
Yep.
go thing.
I mean, boho's just here forever. It feels like, but like I feel like disco balls are on a different wavelength. I think it's in and out, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. But we talked about. Well, Courtney's big on eco stuff.
Yes, so I'm very excited about this trend that's coming in is
Okay.
being eco-friendly at your wedding.
Oh,
So
yeah.
ways to reduce the waste
Yeah.
at a wedding.
Mhm.
So like caterers can bring in disposables that are compostable, and
Okay.
people are doing confetti that's not confetti. It's
Mhm.
not plastics. It's going to be like leaves from natural trees and
Yep.
things like
I
that.
saw that at a wedding.
So yeah, exactly. It's a ton of fun. I have a bride that's gonna do instead of like place cards, she's actually gonna purchase like fruits and vegetables and like engrave people's names on them.
We
so
did that. We
they
did
can
that
be
last
eaten.
year.
What the
Yeah.
heck?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you
Little
did?
lemons, yeah.
Yo, that's
It
so
was very cool.
That's wild. That's good.
Mhm.
That's a good
We
unique.
actually we didn't engrave on them though, but that was our, anyway. That's a
Anyway.
great idea though.
Apple was beef.
They were all lemons. The
Oh,
lemon
okay.
was the vibe, so everybody had their own lemon. But
okay.
that's a
I
cool
remember
Apple
idea.
was beef.
That's
and
If
very
you're a
orange was
funny.
citrus,
chicken.
if it's a citrus theme wedding, you have a grapefruit and orange.
Yeah.
Or, oh, that's
Mhm.
Just
Yeah.
that.
random
Would you
thought.
would you like to be hired onto our design team?
Yeah, right.
Come on over, Tony.
That's funny.
But actually, we aren't that to speak to that when we think about trends. Like our business is not super design centered by any means. Like we enjoy that aesthetic, but that's definitely not our focus. So even when we're talking about trends, like we're not always like looking and trying to stay hyper educated. Like we'll be educated in what's going on and what we need to know, but it's
Mhm.
that's not our thing. So when we think
Yeah.
about trends, we're thinking of like I was doing some research and content day of content creators.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's a
heard
thing
of-
now.
I've heard
Isn't
of it.
that cool?
Yeah.
I haven't actually worked with one yet. So
neither.
here's another advertisement. If anybody's a day of content creator and you want to film a reel with us for vendor support and education. Well, isn't that awesome though?
That is awesome.
And I, like I already said, I dislike social media with a passion. But for people who love it, like
Yeah.
how cool would that be to like bring
It's a good
someone
way
on?
to like
do
not
all
have to
your
worry about it, and
Yeah.
it's you can make a cool little story of the day. and all
Yes.
that.
Yeah. So bringing someone on for that could, I think it's not going to go away. I could see that being very popular very
Definitely.
quickly.
You know, if there's one thing I've learned as being a business owner is that delegation, right? Which is hard, I think, for all of us to do. We're like, the reason we started businesses is because at heart, we're like entrepreneurs and go-getters, and we like to do it, and we want to do it ourselves, right? So, but things like you mentioned, like the social media thing,
Yep.
if you're not great at it, or if you just don't really care about it, it makes total sense, and it's worth it, right? To bring in a content creator, because you're bringing in somebody that loves it, wants to do it, is
Right.
probably going to do a good job, and then they're only going to get better the more events that they do with you. Then they're going to kind of learn your style and what you're looking for, and
Yeah.
and that's something we've struggled with as well.
Trying to find someone.
Yeah, I mean, because we have assistants that will go out with us at events, but they're not they don't, sometimes they don't see things through the lens that we're kind of looking for.
They don't have the eye that was
Sure.
kind of what we said.
And just
Sure.
little things. It's like, okay, I want pictures of the dance floor, but I really want pictures of the dance floor that show also my setup
The booth,
behind me
right.
and the
Yeah.
booth. But then I want some that show me from behind and the reactions of the crowd when I go into this mix.
Mhm.
And so sometimes, they're just doing this and everything, and then you
You're
get the
like,
footage
"Oh,
back, and
thanks."
it's just like
It's the same pan, 5 different videos, and it's just the same 5
Sure.
videos
Aw,
5
man.
times.
Right.
But
so it's kind of so it makes it tough, but that's where having people that know what to do with it, right? It's makes it worth it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who would. I don't know anyone personally who is actually a day of content creator who like advertises themselves as such.
I feel like you could do that as an add-on for like
Definitely.
video or photo.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great idea.
That is a great
Okay.
idea.
That's what I would do.
Pitch
I
it to
mean,
all
if
those photographers,
Yeah.
videographers.
you can throw on an ad a day of, and they just follow you for content.
I'm sure for the content. Yeah.
And you
My
would
mind's
see-
like.
I know
Yeah.
that
I mean, you
my
could even do that
hamsters
for
are going
planner.
crazy.
You could have a
like our
you're doing-
assistant or something.
Yeah, right. You have a planner, and you bring on a third person.
Right.
And they're the day of content for everything.
Mm.
Not only are they creating stuff for you guys, but they're also getting content for the bride day
Sure.
of. So,
Like you
Kinda
said, I
double
think
duty.
that would definitely take a lot of training.
Yeah.
oh
Be
yeah,
able to capture
that
the
eye
right
is
things and
Mhm.
right angles, right? Yep. Because we're trying to stay out of the photos in as much as we can.
yeah.
So don't get us in the back of your photos.
One thing
Right.
you could do is you could just offer it for free for some of your favorite brides that you're just you really connect with them and just say, hey, we want to bring somebody to generate content for us, but would you mind if they shot you for the day and did some content creation and we just give it to you? You tell us the feedback. There's no expectations because it's free, and then you get video and
Get
they
it
get
out
video.
there.
Yeah, then that way the person doing the free work can get exposure, get some practice.
Right.
You know, you might have to pay them something
Free,
a little
free,
bit,
free, free.
but it's always it's tough because
Is that
like
TurboTax?
yeah. It's tough because you want somebody to pay for it, but also too I feel like when you're first starting those things, free samples are a good example. You know,
Yeah.
and you give them a little taste, you can learn.
Yep.
Kind of.
Tony went to business school, obviously.
I did not. I just like marketing and stuff.
Yeah.
Shark Tank. I got that from Shark
Shark
Tank.
Tank,
Believe it or not.
ooh.
Cuban.
Yep.
Cuban.
Love me some
Nice.
Shark Tank.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
It's like one of those shows I can watch with my kids. That's
Yeah.
like mommy shows, but also it's like kind of educational. So it's like a good excuse for me to watch my
and
shows during the
sometimes they'll
day.
bring toys on. The kids will see
Yeah,
the toys. And be like,
yep.
oh yeah.
And
Mom, I want
sometimes
that.
it's the kids who are the entrepreneurs too. So I'm
Yeah.
teaching my
Inspiring. There
children
you go.
entrepreneurial skills right now.
Yeah,
Perfect.
see,
That's my
you
good
could be them.
excuse.
You could be them. if you Try hard.
Exactly.
Mhm.
But other trends that we were thinking
Yeah.
of,
What else we got?
we kind of went with like authenticity to New Mexico. We're bringing in a lot of couples from, most of our couples at this point are out of state.
That's what we
coming
felt
in.
too.
Well.
We've seen a huge uptick in destination weddings to New
great?
Mexico.
Yeah.
Awesome for us.
It is pretty cool to like think about it because growing up, I was like, "Oh, New Mexico's whack, whatever," right?
You.
I wasn't a big fan, but it's just
Land of
because,
entrapment.
yeah, but it's got some beauty to it, and you got to learn to appreciate it and love it. And
Yeah.
it's cool that it's getting showcased more.
And like, shout out to all the photographers who make us look badass.
For real.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Absolutely.
Lucia
Yeah.
on Vogue and all that. Have you seen
Yeah.
that?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the planners who can tag themselves in like all these like Vogue or any
Yeah.
of these big names. So that's super cool. So,
Mhm.
but the couples who are coming in kind of want to stay true to New Mexico too. Like this is New Mexico is not Mexico, clearly,
Yeah.
but it's such different traditions that we can share with those couples who can share those with their guests who are from the East Coast or the West Coast who are like, what the hell is a bizcochito?
Yeah,
like,
for real.
and sharing like the new flavors and authenticity. Or, we have a big debate of like farolitos or luminarias. I'm
Yup.
very much a luminaria person.
Yeah, so am I.
myself. One of my couples is like, they're farolitos. I'm like, yikes. We can no longer work together.
Hilarious.
Yeah, we are.
but like bringing in
Can't
those
be
cool
friends.
traditions is very trendy to like
Mhm.
share that experience with their
Yeah.
guests too.
And the food here.
And the food.
The food here is unmatched.
Mhm.
It's really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny, like hearing the couples in tastings be like, we want spice, but not too much because all of our guests are super white.
Funny.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, I feel like all these destination couples coming in for sure want to give their guests the New Mexican experience.
Yep.
So it typically tends to be with food, the venue choices,
Mm-hmm.
not so much the music, which You know,
sometimes like rancheras and
Rancheras,
stuff.
right.
I don't
marcha.
like my Texas couples and people from the East. They don't want any of that stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, like you know,
I have couples,
and it's because they don't know it.
yeah.
Right, exactly.
So for me, the common thing I see is one is from New Mexico and the other one isn't, and they want to showcase the state
Sure.
to other couples
Yeah.
or their guests.
Mhm.
And a lot of the times they want ranchera or guapangos. I had a couple from Texas, and they were very Spanish Texas,
Oh, cool.
and it was norteñas, guapangos, and they didn't want rancheras. It was so unique. That's why when people say we want more Spanish music, I'm like, well, what do you mean? You want
Sure.
salsa? Do
Tell
you
me
want-"
more.
Yeah, give me some artists, some examples. But
Yep.
yeah, it's so unique. I feel like when you get to play that Spanish music, but you usually play it, sprinkle it at the beginning, and then get on to the
Yeah.
rest of the night because
Yeah.
they get a taste of it, but they don't want to do that the
Yeah.
whole night. It just
Yeah.
depends on the couple.
Right.
I think the couples are really into like the geography of New Mexico too. So we're looking
Right.
at the mesas and the
Yeah.
white sands and like all. So that's super unique. So
Yeah.
having destination weddings at venues that can accommodate those kinds of things. too. So
Yeah.
that's-
Like along those same lines is like not just the day of the wedding. It's usually like a big welcome drinks and dinner and then a
Mhm.
post brunch. So people are like, stick around, enjoy your vacation here in New Mexico. And we like give them ideas of what
Yeah.
they should be doing when they're not at the wedding. So,
Definitely. That's
Right.
cool.
mhm.
Very cool.
Love
like rafting down Tingley Beach.
Tingley Beach.
Tingley Beach.
Perfect.
Get wrapped in Taos, right?
Yeah, you can.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
that's
You
true.
do the box.
Go down the
which is
gorge.
pretty hard,
Yeah.
and then they have a. I don't know what the lower level is called, but basically, if in order to do the box, you have to be 12 or older. But then if you have
Okay.
younger kids, you have to do Pilars. I think it's called like the racetrack.
Simpler
Huh.
and easier.
Mm-hmm.
I've never done rafting.
neither.
Yeah. Looks scary.
It's
Yeah.
fun.
Is it?
Mhm.
We're gonna do a Cutmaster trip to Tingley Beach and go raft.
Tingley Beach, maybe not there.
I've had friends float the Rio Grande before.
Yeah,
Mhm.
me too.
Yeah, that's a kind of that's a growing thing.
Can you
Yeah.
do like? I feel like they're just dried up spots. Are they not dried
Not
up?
right now. The
water
run
is
the
That's true,
runoff
right
has
now.
been
Right,
That's
pretty
true.
high. But
pretty high.
for the past few years, it's like little islands.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you have to
like
do more
walking
walking.
You're all dragging your
The
tube. in the
island hop.
dirt.
You got to island hop.
Yeah.
The Rio
There's
Grande.
there's also another one where you can park up in Bernalillo and then not fly, excuse
Float.
me, float
Hmm.
all the way down to pretty much Hyatt Tamaya.
Oh, that's
It's like
really
a
cool.
2-3 hour float.
Oh.
So you got like
Tell me
park.
more. Tell me more.
Yeah, my friends do it, so I'll have to figure out. I don't know where it is.
Sounds cool. I like to paddleboard, so
Nice,
awesome.
nice. I paddleboarded for the first time last year, and it was amazing.
nice.
We did a wedding in
Cancun.
no, it was in Durango, or it was up north. I did do a wedding. in
That
Cancun.
sounds chilly. Paddleboarding and
What? With the sun up,
Okay.
you're okay.
just don't fall in that water.
The water was freezing.
Yeah.
But luckily, it was a hot day, so it wasn't too bad.
Oh, good.
but
If you
the
did
water
get
was so
wet,
cold.
you dry off in the hot sun.
Yeah,
Good,
exactly.
good.
Okay, so I've got one more question here for you. We want you both to give us a wedding industry hot take here. So, like something that maybe is like a pet peeve or something that irks you within the industry that you just wish would maybe you might want to see a change or something like that.
I got you.
Nice, nice.
I have
Yes,
harped on
yes.
this so much with Courtney. It's vendors. I love y'all. Please communicate with me in a timely manner.
There
That
you
is
go.
all. But it's just within X number of business days, preferably one. That's my kind of process. But 2 to 3 business days. And if you're on vacation, I support that. And please don't email me while you're on vacation. But set a vacation reminders
Yeah.
to
Right.
Let you know.
to let everyone know. And I won't bug you. I promise. I want you to be on vacation. But just timely responses. Otherwise, I'm just following up. And then I just feel annoying. And I don't want to feel annoying or like make them annoyed.
Yeah.
So just timely communication is my
Nice. Hot take.
hot take.
That's a
yeah.
good one.
It's a good one.
My hot take is basically about decor. So I don't love a ton of decor on tables, especially for outdoor weddings, because the wind is just going to kill it anyway.
Yeah.
And I just
Spring
want
New
people
Mexico
to-
weddings.
Yeah, I want people to like spend more time and energy on their experience for the
Yeah.
wedding instead of being like, oh, this napkin fold has to be perfect.
Yeah.
No,
that's a
I'd
good one.
rather them get out on the dance floor and let me bring them drinks throughout the night and focus their energy there instead.
Nice.
You know, I heard one of my friends of the industry, they were talking about trends and that he feels that a trend that we're going to see instead of stuff that we've been really have seen over the last 10 years, whether it's like, lighting, DJ furniture, things like that. They feel like experiences are going to be like the new trends. One of my buddies just got married recently, and his crew actually, had during the night surprised, because it was his company that was doing DJing the wedding for him, right? And his guys surprised him with during the middle of the night. They came out with like at the nightclub when they do the sparklers with the signs of like your name,
Like when you buy a bottle of champagne.
yeah, they get like champagne. They came out with like their last name, right? And
cool.
stuff. So like things like that, and creating like these kind of unique experiences throughout the actual reception.
Yeah,
So
little snapshots, moments, kind of.
right. So
Yeah.
they predicted like that's that we're going to start seeing more experience-based trends as opposed to the stuff.
Yes, we actually just we both did a wedding together for one of our most beloved couples. They were at Four Seasons, and they didn't have a DJ. They had a guitarist, and the whole vibe of their event was just very interpersonal relationships and building those with their guests, because it was a whole weekend fun. Like they had a salsa making competition at their welcome party. Like it was so dope.
Cool.
But at their wedding day, the goal was not to have everyone just dancing and things. It was to build those relationships. So what they did was we had a station of 1 year, 5 years, 20 years, I think was what it was.
Wow.
And we had Funky Olive print off some questionnaires essentially. So like, what advice can you give us in 1, 5, 20 years? And then put that envelope. But they paired up each guest with like a person they thought they wanted them to get to know, or
someone
like,
they didn't know.
Yeah.
It had to be, like,
Wow.
someone
So-
new, make a new friend.
it was like an experiential thing. So they had to like really get to know each other and like share their experience with the couple. So that was really cool. It's just an experience. It shifted completely away from like the traditional
Yeah.
wedding
Nice.
reception.
That's
So
cool.
it was very
I
cool.
really like that.
Yep, me too.
Became a wedding retreat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For real.
All right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A wedding team builder.
For real. That's cool though. I like that.
It was really nice.
That's awesome. I mean, I love working with couples like that, that are just outside the box and want to do something different and unique. And, we're always looking for ways that we can try to do that too and help with our end of the deal, just with dealing with receptions and or music curation and stuff like that. So that's cool.
Yeah.
I like hearing that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, there's one last thing that I know Shelby really wanted to do, and she had mentioned that she wants to have a beatbox
No,
battle.
I was just kidding. No.
She wants to have a beatbox battle.
Beatbox. I don't know how to beatbox.
Oh, you don't?
No, do
me
you?
No,
neither.
I mean, no, I just pretend. But I pretend a lot.
Wait. To the point where her daughter tries to beatbox.
Well, my 2-year-old, she runs around going,
That's
psk, psk, psk.
Nice.
It's so cute. Yeah.
Hey, there you
so.
go.
Yes.
How do you pretend to beatbox?
Oh, okay. I was totally kidding.
Ah,
I got her. Okay. Oh no,
I'm
Courtney.
ready. Can you
Oh,
show me
no.
now?
Okay,
This is how
I'm
it
not.
happens.
This is just joke. Okay. Oh yikes. Okay. Yay. Okay.
You got this.
Yeah, I see.
No,
They're
it's
never coming back
dumb.
on the
It's
show.
So dumb. I feel
Okay.
so dumb. Okay.
You
that's
got
okay.
it.
That's okay.
Yeah, that was way better than anything I've got.
No way.
I have.
Okay, Tony, where's the battle?
Oh.
Nice.
That's good.
Oh,
I don't know.
Uh huh.
I'm trying to think of. I don't know.
that's good. That's good stuff.
Yours is probably the best.
No way, man.
Yes.
But I do watch a lot of like
Oh my god.
the YouTube. The YouTube. I feel so old.
The
I go
The
on
YouTubes?
the YouTubes,
the YouTubes.
and I definitely search.
You look up tutorials.
Not tutorial. No, I don't. I will never pretend to be a beatboxer, except for this moment. But
was
I
thinking
do
of,
watch
like-
the beatbox competitions a lot.
Oh, those
They're
are probably
so dope.
sick.
Yeah,
They're
some-
so dope.
Yeah.
That's some of them they just sound like real
Oh,
like produced.
yes.
Yeah, they sound real.
Beats.
I
Legit
want to
real.
support women in beatboxing too, but let's be honest, we just don't have like the
There's
deep,
got to be some out
deep.
there.
There are, yes, but like none that have like the deep bass like men just
Yeah.
naturally have.
That's a good point.
All right, there you go, people. You heard it here first. That was
Oh my God.
that was the very
Beatbox
first
competition.
beatbox battle on
Cutmaster Cast.
on the Cutmaster Cast.
I don't know. Courtney didn't get her turn.
Oh, I would.
See what you
I'd
got,
like to
Court?
pass. Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna let you off the hook, Courtney. All right, so it is time for us to go to our favorite section, one of our favorites.
Nice. Oh yeah,
You know it.
you love it.
Gonna do it.
We got it. It's time.
It's called
The grab bag.
This is
Courtney is
amazing.
like, what's going on?
Okay.
What's going on?
That's the grab
Why
bag.
did we do?
No,
She's like,
I-
Shelby,
We've
why
gotten
did
a
we
lot
do
better
this?
at it.
Something about TikTok. I listened to the podcast.
Hey,
We just,
right.
I laugh at it because it sounds so funny. But it's good.
I just thought that was like a pre-recorded thing. That's why I was like,
Heck no, everything's on the fly.
right here.
Cutmaster Cast. It's keeping it
Mixes.
fresh. Okay, so the grab bag is where we scour high and low the internets, and we find a few things industry related
on the YouTubes and the TikToks.
on the YouTubes and the TikTokers. And we're gonna chat about them. So let's. I'm gonna play this first one here. These are some good ones today. You guys are gonna like these ones. All right, here we go.
Thinking that the more expensive
Oops, sorry, I got to
your
restart.
happy marriage, have a big, cheap wedding. In one study by two professors at Emory University, they found a correlation between less expensive engagement rings and lower divorce rates. The study found that women whose wedding cost more than $20,000 divorced at a rate roughly 1.6 times higher than women whose wedding costs between $5,000 and $10,000. Couples who spent $1,000 or less on their big day had a lower than average rate of divorce. The wedding industry has deceived young couples into thinking that the more expensive your wedding day is, the more satisfying your marriage will be. And I'm just here to tell you today, that is absolutely not true.
All right, hot take right off the bat.
I have so many thoughts.
I have thoughts too.
Yeah,
ahead.
spill them, spill the
Uh,
beans.
So the first thing I think is like the wedding industry has deceived.
We're deceiving.
I have
You're-
never said that
you
you're-
and I are
if you have a better
deceiving.
wedding, you'll have a better marriage. Actually, that's like kind of the opposite of what I preach, to be honest. I'm like, hey, it's one day, it's gonna be a day of celebration, but it's not the end. Like you're going into a marriage. This is very important. So that was interesting. And also when he was like under $1,000, what are you
Ew.
doing?
All they're
Like
doing is purchasing
how
their
many
marriage
people,
certificate.
Yeah, how many people did you invite? I think we had pizza, which is great. I love pizza, but you know, it's just different.
$5 at Little Caesars.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
It's what I was thinking. I think
I
it's like
served pizza at my wedding.
$6.25 or something now, just so you know. Inflation.
inflation. Yep. Yeah. What are your
Um,
thoughts?
I'm not advertising well for our business because I kind of agree. Kind of with honestly, I know people who are geared towards the experience and just want to spend time with their people without having there are lots of fluffy elements that can go into a wedding to make it amazingly beautiful. And I'm all here for it, for all that. But I think people who are going to focus on the experience are going to be the people who are not as inclined to have the big, beautiful things. So
Yeah, that's well said, though. I like what you're saying there.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the day, it comes down to what you value, right? And
Right.
what means the most to you,
Yes.
and what your vision, ultimately is. And
Right.
so for some people, that vision leads to more dollars,
Mm-hmm.
spent. And Tony says this all the time that, there's, a DJ for everyone, or, things along those lines, right? Like you can have a backyard wedding, and that's fine. You just, I think you have to understand kind of, what that experience is going to be like compared to someone that's having 700 people with 3 dress changes and providing 5 different experiences throughout the night for guests.
Sure.
Just completely different, right?
Right.
So
Well, let me also just say that I do not think, I don't know the science behind the correlation with divorce rates. So I'm not personally speaking to divorce rates. Let me just put that out there. I'm speaking
that
to the
expert.
experience and the enjoyment of kind of the day and even the planning process too. Also, even people who are under $20,000, that's the average cost of a wedding. And even this was like, a few years ago, it was like $35K.
Yep.
So it's even higher now. So, and that's basic stuff. That's, a nice hotel Albuquerque wedding
Venue.
with just food. You're using their decor. You're getting a DJ.
Right.
You're getting, mid-range, kind of of everything. And I mean, it can still be amazing though. That's not to say it can't be awesome.
Right.
you know.
And it also doesn't say you won't get divorced.
Also that. Yeah. That's weird.
That has
I know-
nothing to do with the wedding day. I
It wa-
feel like, excuse me.
It's like, what university is doing this?
It was
study?
pretty interesting. What do you say, Emory? Right, but the
Yeah.
comments are really funny. The first one, Debbie here says it's because the importance is on the marriage, not the wedding.
Yeah.
Maybe the real correlation is spoiled women and divorces.
Well,
Maybe they can't afford a divorce.
Ice cold.
Oh man, you gotta love the comments, right?
The TikTokers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the ticker
exactly.
talkers. So
TikTok trolls.
pretty funny. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Here's another good one. This is by Annabelle Bonner. I think she's a planner here. So let's see what she says.
Howdy, friends, and welcome to Wedding Hot
Howdy.
Takes from an experienced wedding planner. Now, please remember, these are just my opinions based on things that I've seen in my many, many years in the industry, and
She looks like she's 12.
opinions that I've come up with for myself that I wouldn't necessarily do for my own weddings, but they should have no bearing on what you decide to do with yours. First and foremost, I am anti-wedding party. You heard me. Seriously, it adds so much chaos. You have to have extra seating, head tables where you've got the whole wedding party and their significant others. Oh man, massive trips, and honestly, just the financial investment for your wedding party can be insane. And personally, I think that it just complicates everything. And at the end of the day, I think it's fine if you stand up in front of all your friends and family and get married, just the two of you, and you're efficient or something else. Again, this is just my opinion, but I don't like wedding parties. Howdy, friends.
How about that? What do you got?
That
What
one's
do you?
tough. Because I agree and I disagree at the
I
same
agree and
time.
I disagree.
Yeah, pros and cons.
I had a
Yes.
wedding last year with it was with you guys actually. Wesley and Colleen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
11 on each side.
Oh, yeah.
That was my personal biggest wedding party. So it was a 24-person wedding
They
party.
were a fun couple.
They are. Yes, they are amazing.
Yeah.
But that's a lot. And I remember at the rehearsal specifically, so not even on her wedding day, but at her rehearsal, she came in, and I know Colleen personally too, like she was struggling very much. And it wasn't like all the little things. It was just all the people checking in on her, and which is also my job too. So I don't want to be an extra person checking in on you,
Yeah.
making you feel that way. But, and then from a photographer's standpoint, that instead of allotting, 30 minutes for wedding party photos, that's considerably higher. So it plays into a lot with the head table. But what if the couple, the bridesmaid and her significant other have kids? Like, what do they do with the kids? And
Right.
what is that? What
Or
are the logistics
sometimes there's
there?
like drama in the wedding
There's
party.
drama,
And So you
yeah.
got to make sure they're not next to each other, or like I had one where a groomsman like slept with all the bridesmaids. And it
What?
was- yeah. And they were like, you got to be careful with this guy. And I was like, oh, man. So,
Wow.
yeah, there's a lot of little
Yikes.
things, history you don't even think about that plays
Right.
a role. And so there's a lot of stuff.
I think it's trending now too. If we want to
Mhm.
say that they're either best man made or best people, we'll say, because that's
Yeah.
kind of
Right.
Yeah, I've seen it.
inclusive term. But best people, and that's it. We even did one.
Yeah.
I have one coming up that's no wedding party. All we have to figure out is who are going to be your official witnesses to sign the license.
Nice.
But
yeah.
that's the only real
For the
consideration
weddings
or
that I've
toast.
done, it's just been the parents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you
The
go.
witnesses.
Yeah, like even this weekend, my wedding doesn't have a wedding party.
Mm-hmm.
I know I've been seeing a trend with grand entrances. We used to have these, every couple coming in, and we still do those. But I've definitely seen an uptick in and either only introducing the bride and groom, or like a few weeks ago, they want to mix in with their cocktail hour and just
Yeah.
mix in with everybody, and they don't want to make a big to do with a big old entrance or anything like that. They just mix in. We go in and get right into the reception, and it's just sweetheart table. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had something similar to that where they were in cocktail. The guitarist led everybody in with the
Cool.
bride and groom leading, and then we all went in. We went into our grand intro. We introduced the bride and groom. They stood up. They said hello, and then we went into our toasts and all
Right.
of that. But it was nice to have them kind of transition into, because it really helped get everybody in there right
Right.
away, and then you don't have to worry about corralling everybody for the grand intro.
Right.
And it was
Spotlight.
it was smooth.
So I guess this is kind of a trend too, is smaller wedding parties, and then also getting away from like regular wedding traditions of
People
the
are
grand
really
entrance.
getting away from the
Yep.
traditional stuff
Yep.
and just making it different, new.
And that's kind of exciting for us.
I
too,
love
'cause
it.
It makes as cookie cutter as we can get like cookie cutter weddings sometimes, and we appreciate those fully. But it keeps us on our toes, and like it's fun for us to plan.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
New
this
events, yeah.
timeline is
Yeah.
not. We're not going to fill in our standard things. It's like, oh, we can't forget to do this other cool element too. So-
Exactly. It
Absolutely.
makes it
Yeah.
unique.
It
It
does.
makes it different.
And that's
yeah,
what everybody wants to be, right? Is
Yeah.
unique and have their wedding,
especially with a
actually be
wedding day.
memorable.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
You know what I really would like to start pushing? This is getting along the lines of kind of trends maybe again as well. And this happens a lot more out east, and we don't see it as much out here, is opening up the dance floor before dinner.
And then doing like food stations and things like that.
Well, and you know what? Just so if you want to get outside the box, start your wedding with energy, right? And I'm not saying like open up the dance floor like full blown out, but like just do 15 minutes, 20 minutes, get everybody out on the dance floor, play 3-4 songs, high energy tracks, and get the blood pumping, right? And it's completely different when you've got that and you've started off your night with that, and then you go into dinner. So this happens out east like way more frequently now, and
Just kind of warm up the crowd.
that's what it's like, and it's good vibes, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're on the dance floor, you can't be dancing and not feel good. Like nobody goes out there and dances like this.
I
right?
All mad.
Yeah. I hate
I'm
dancing.
angry.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Josh does that, my husband. It's like dragged him out on the floor. He's like, I don't know what to do. I'm just standing here.
And I was like, that is such, like, we need to start doing that. Like, if you want to do something different, do that. Nobody does that
Nobody
here.
would expect it.
That would be fun.
Keep them on their toes.
They wouldn't know what to do, right? Like, we want everybody right now to come on out to the dance floor, and we're going to start this thing off the right way, you know. And
I read about it. We're part of some wedding planner like Facebook groups, and that was actually a topic of conversation recently. And I was reading through the comments, and it's nationwide. They're wedding planners everywhere, and there was like kind of a pushback on that. Like, well, the timeline won't work out well, which I think maybe that's just kind of people adverse to change
Right.
a little bit. But
if
like
you
when
account for it,
yeah,
then
absolutely.
you know what to do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
So I wonder, like, I bet it will become more common. So it's starting there. And I feel like, honestly, New Mexico's always kind of catching up.
We're always late to the party.
A little bit, unfortunately.
Always.
But so I feel like if it's starting out there, like it's coming this way. So
yeah.
Mm.
That
all right,
sounds
So-
fun.
let's make it
It's kind
happen.
of an advantage that we have sometimes. If you pay attention to the East Coast, we can bring things from there that they're already
Yeah.
testing, seeing work.
Mhm.
We bring it here, and it's brand new.
Yeah.
But it's been working for 2 years on the East Coast.
We're so innovative.
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't steal my ideas, people.
Yeah.
It's- okay, I've got one more for you all.
Nice,
This is from
nice.
a wedding planner. Okay, so let's see.
We're excited to start your planning journey. You grab your margarita, you sit down at your computer, and then you realize you have no idea where to start your planning journey. Hi, I'm Shelby with Luz Weddings and Events, and we're the party people based in New Mexico
Hi,
and the
Shelby.
Southwest. Regardless of whether or not you know how or where or when to begin your planning journey, here's the first thing every newly engaged couple should do. Create an email address that will be used exclusively for all wedding communication. It'll be really helpful for you and your vendors if you include 2 simple things in your email address: your names and your wedding year. We got married in 2017, but I'll use myself as an example. What about Shelby and Micah 2024 at gmail.com or smwedding2024 at gmail.com. Check back in with us soon to hear the second very big, important, often avoided, and sometimes forgotten next step all couples should do.
I would just like to also say that our monogram was S&M forever.
That
That's
is
hilarious.
awesome.
That's so funny.
It's like the best hashtag.
Right?
It was, and we put it on like little what are those things called?
shot glasses,
Not chocolate, but like the
koozies,
no the
tumbler?
flasks.
flasks. Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
We put them
Like
on
she's
flasks
turning
for
something up.
for our whole wedding party. They all have the S&M forever.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
This wedding planner sounds awesome. You should go follow her at Luz Weddings and Events
Oh,
on
wow,
the
she has some
socials.
great
I have to
tips.
say that one's money. I've never heard that, and I love it because it helps keep everything organized and not all.
I feel like I've
Caught
seen
up.
that more in the last couple of years. I'm seeing more an address, an email address that's centered around
Yeah.
the couple. Like my
Wedding
couple
day.
this past week or this weekend coming up, they have one. you
And
know,
it's
so.
great because you can do it without actually having an actual date. So before you book your venue, you can still use it if you're hoping to get married in 2025 or something. You can still set that up today with the hopes of that. But the one challenge with that is we see couples who have that but don't regularly check it. So activating those notifications and the pushes and all of that, just making sure you're actually open to communication and responding to them. So
That's good, though. I like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good tip.
It's great not to get buried under all the work emails.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
That's right. Keep it all separate, right? Keep all your keep my wedding spam away from my regular spam.
We only send good emails.
No, not you.
Fun.
I only get good emails from La Luz. I know that.
The
That's good.
the spam that comes into.
No,
Oh
I have
my
to say,
gosh.
your guys' thank you emails are fire. Like, those are so cool.
Aw.
Nobody does that. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool. Because I got one from you, and then I got one from Lauren
Oh, perfect.
when we worked at one at Sandia.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
It's just like a little
Thanks.
personal touch.
yeah.
It's
I'm
like,
like,
it was awesome.
someone's seeing it out here, you know? So that's
Yeah.
cool.
I think just building up the community is really important.
Yeah.
I think like after
It's money.
after we like hang out for a bit and then we leave, it's like there wasn't like a follow up or communication or like just I think it strengthens that relationship.
It's something
a little
so
bit.
Absolutely.
simple, and it goes so far.
Yeah, like when people reach out, like a mom reached out the day after our wedding, this Towski Valley. She was so thankful for like everything. Yikes,
could
right?
imagine so.
I know, right? But just like it, in a non-prideful way, it just feels really good to be appreciated.
Heck
So
yeah,
like
I got you.
we want to like make sure other people feel that as well.
We all work hard here, so it's nice to know
Yeah.
and get recognized.
Yep. Exactly.
Cool. All right, we are going to head into our final segment of the day.
Oh, yeah.
Back to sorry. Great. No, I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, do it.
Great Scott.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, cool. I think that is pretty much gonna do it for this episode.
think
This was
that-
really good.
We appreciate you all for coming
thank
on.
thank you both for coming on. Where can everybody find you?
Yeah.
You can find us. You can La Luz Weddings and Events on Instagram. We're also on the Facebook.
The
The
Facebooks?
Facebook?
You're in the book
Soon
of
to
faces.
be on the YouTubers.
Ooh.
And email us. Find our website, laluzevents.com.
Very nice.
All right. Well, Courtney and Shelby, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Today was really good. I hope we get people that listen in. There was a lot of great little takeaways from this episode.
A
So
bunch of things all over the place. And
Yeah.
that's what I like the podcast episodes that are
Yeah.
like that.
it was good. And if you didn't know how to beatbox, and now you
Now you
need to
kinda
go
know.
practice. Go practice, Tony. You need to practice your.
Oh, I thought you
your
were talking to
beatboxing.
me. Which
No, yours is good.
No.
I was gonna
Tony-
say, Shelby, take us out. No.
Tony was good with it sounded like a horse, like
That's actually, if I ask my 2-year-old, what does a horse say?
There you
That's
go.
pretty along
So-
the lines of that.
there's a beatboxer for everybody, people.
That's funny. There is.
All right. Thank you guys once again. We will see you next week.
We appreciate you all for tuning in. Thank you all.
Thank you, Courtney, Shelby.
Thanks.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for checking out the Cutmaster Cast Podcast. Make sure you stay tuned with all things related at www.cutmastermusic.com.